Round one.
Welcome to the ping pong tournament as we get ready to go for the Olympic tryouts. Okay. Get ready to do the hand. So I'm going to say something, and some of you might argue with me when I say this. Good morning, everybody.
You're wrong!
Wrong. It feels like morning because it's the first panel of the day for us. It's actually our one panel of the day. So we got to make this one count, guys. Hi, how's everyone doing?
Thank you for coming out.
They're doing good. We're going to actually have a third person on this panel for some reason. I guess Black Gryph0n's going to show up here eventually. So he's right now actually doing autographs. He's in the autograph room. And he's going to be taking care of as many people as he can. And then once he gets through his line, he's going to come out and join us and have some fun. So what we're going to do is when Black Gryph0n does get here, what do you think would be the proper thing for us to do to welcome him in? Completely silent?
When he actually gets here?
Should we all just like stand up and awkwardly just stare at him as we just... So my cue to you guys will be when we see him, I'll just stand up and just stare, all right? And we'll just make it very awkward for him it's Gabe, so we don't have to do too much to make it awkward.
Yeah.
So, what about bananas?
Yes, keyword is bananas.
Bananas. I'll forget that. Judy, no, that'll do something else. So, you already have a question? Do you think he really deserves that, though? I mean, let's see. I don't want to get his head too big. Well, guys, welcome in. This is the Bronies React panel. So, Crystal Mountain Ponycon. We've made it. It was funny. So, we're used to working 3-day conventions. Obviously, this is a 2-day convention. And we went across the street earlier to the barbecue place. And I'm looking for their hours, and I'm like, they don't have Sunday hours, but it says that they're open. And we walk in, and it wasn't until after, I think, ordering our food where we're like, it's Saturday. That's why.
What year is it?
So, again, welcome, guys. Thanks for coming out. Gotta ask, as I typically do for all these Bronies React panels, is there anybody here who has absolutely no idea what Bronies React is? Don't be shy. Get those hands up. Nice. Good. So I always ask this because sometimes we'll get like people, I don't know what they're expecting exactly, but it's not going to be as good as what you're actually going to get. No, actually, I said that backwards. What you were expecting was going to be a lot better. So, sorry in advance. Now, the Bronies React is a series that I make on YouTube, and it's bringing together a lot of personalities from the Brony fandom. And it started off actually as a parody where we were just like, hey, it'd be funny to do a react back at a show called Teens React when they were reacting back in the day to My Little Pony. I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if Bronies reacted to teens reacting to Bronies, essentially? And it actually ended up being a much bigger success than I ever thought. I'm like, well, why don't we keep it going? And nowadays we do reacts to all sorts of things. Mostly these days it's been to episodes of the show. We also have done fan works. We might at some point do a movie, as if any are coming out anytime soon. But yeah, and so essentially it's kind of like a comedy series that we do, and we also have like a bonus video that goes out where we give you like our real, true, heartfelt thoughts and everything too. So again, welcome you guys. And as far as this panel, what we're going to be doing mostly is kind of focusing on Q&A, and the reason we do that is because A, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your questions, or they typically spawn stories, and who knows where this panel's going to go from there.
Yeah.
So, and Henry,
yes.
You're up here on the Bronies React. You've been in a couple Bronies Reacts.
I've been on a couple Bronies Reacts, and then there's an upcoming one which I should be on as well.
So you're going to be back in
the saddle.
In the saddle.
Back in the saddle.
Oh.
I wanted to ask everybody here though, who is this your first convention you've been to? Really? All right. So like a generous number of people. So just be prepared. I mean, how have you enjoyed it so far? Have you enjoyed your time here at the convention? Yeah?
Give it a little bit of a gusto. Do you guys like the part where we go, make some noise? See, the best part
really
was
good
I
at
phrased
doing
it as a question, so most of you are like, well, let's see where he goes with it. But now is the part where, okay, are you guys ready now? All right.
Are you ready now?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, guys, make some noise! That was good. I even caught myself off guard.
Really good.
Is Brittany in the crowd, by the way? Someone get, oh no. Okay, I was gonna say, I was really tired last night, and somebody gave me this Judy Hopps badge, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. I'm just so happy for it. And then I woke up this morning, I'm like, I should probably give like a better thank you than I did when I was falling asleep last night. We were up late trying to watch Gabe make people fly. It's really a long story. So again, we're gonna focus on Q&A and just see where everything goes. So does anyone here have a question? By raise of hand, and we'll try to get through all of your questions. Now, it always takes the first person to ask a question because everyone's like, I don't want to be the first one. You, yes, in the get up.
Okay, so Bronies React has been going on for a while now. And a lot of people come in and out. Whether they're in and out of the fandom. How do you pick the people that you pick? Can I get an next one?
The classic question. So first off, how do I pick who's going to be on it? When I decided to make Bronies React a series, I wanted to have kind of a core group of reactors, but then also have people that I could cycle through and have some new faces. I always wanted to have like a new face in each react, at least one. Some of them recently haven't had, and that's partially because sometimes, you'll be working with someone like, hey, let's make this happen, and then they're not able to do it. And so sometimes that throws off, oh, we haven't seen a new face in 3 reacts. It's like, well, we tried. But it's always just a matter of, I always, like I said, like to get some new faces on. I know for sure we will have a new person in this upcoming react. Can you guys guess what the upcoming react is for those who have been paying attention? What do you think? The finale? The finale has not come out. The finale probably has aired somewhere in this world because the way they're releasing this season, they're probably already on season 8 and like, I don't know, Israel and Tombstone's like, yeah.
Yeah.
The Equestria Girl specials? No. There have been, okay, so when it is an episode, and it's one that came out, and I got a lot of people commenting, you guys have to react on this, including people on the reacts, like Saber's Park's like, we gotta react to this. I hadn't seen it yet, but I have seen it, I have filmed for it, and people have been sending in their footage, including you, Henry, for A Royal Problem, episode 10. So, now.
Spoiler for that finale though. I mean, I've already seen it, so I mean, Celestia is Twilight's father, so that's the big spoiler. So.
You promised not to say anything. Now,
spoilers!
There's another episode that hasn't aired in the US that some of you may have heard of. And for those that haven't, I'm not going to say any spoilers. We're not going to discuss spoilers for episodes that haven't come out, so don't worry about that. However, there was an additional episode that wasn't too far from episode 10, which is A Royal Problem. Episode 13 also right now has a Bronies React in the works right now. And that one, like I said, some of you, maybe most of you haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, maybe most of you, have heard of it. I will not get into details as far as what it is because I hate spoilers more than probably most people. So, yeah. So, that being said, there are actually 2 Bronies Reacts that are currently in the works on top of the one that just came out about a few weeks ago. So, yeah, you got your hand up. Yeah, you.
So what was overall your reaction to the whole Black Gryph0n situation last year?
Do you remember that? So
yeah,
the question, by the way, I'll just repeat the questions just because I'm used to a mic and I always have to program my mind into, I need to repeat them. So he was asking about the Fine Brothers situation that happened last year in regards to Fine Brothers decided at one point, you know what we should, what was it, trademark?
They wanted to trademark and they wanted to like monetize basically all things React. Like they wanted to be like, put it on our channel and we'll feature you and we'll get all the ad revenue and you'll get like a
Some.
portion of it
You'll
or
get, like,
something?
some.
Like that wasn't like I heard that was kind of their plan.
Yeah.
And it never took off.
Well, yeah, no, they. It was weird because they were like within like 2 or 3 days of having the trademark go through, and they released a video saying, "Good news, everybody! We are going to monopolize. We're going to
That's
monopolize
both.
I'm still waking up. Monopolize Reacts, and everyone's going to be happy." And a lot of people were like, "No, no." So my reaction to it, I thought it was funny. Really, I was like, "This is so." Just I don't know. Like I could see where they maybe thought like, "Oh, people are going to love this," but no, I don't think they asked enough people. And so they ended up. I mean. People were there were like live streams featuring their subscriber count on YouTube, like dropping by the millions. It was, like I said, it was just funny to see. Fine Brothers, by the way, were the first group that I ever did a Bronies React to because they're the ones who make the Teens Reacts. So yeah, no, like I said, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny, like how they really didn't think it through, and then all the jokes that were falling out after that. Basically, you saw people going like, "Oh, are you gonna send me like a bill in the mail for like anytime I react to something like, oh, I had a birthday. Oh, you were happy? All right, well, you reacted, so I mean, you owe us $25. So like, send check to Fine Brothers."
It looks like we had another question, but now it's being carried away. What's his name? Logan. Logan, do you have a favorite pony? Who's Logan's favorite pony? I think the parents are trying to. Oh,
I
yeah.
heard Logan say Pinky.
I heard Logan say Rainbow Dash, so I don't know about.
All right.
You got the wig for it though, so yeah, we're working on that. So, other questions? Yes.
So I've heard rumors you vlog.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
Fake
Okay,
news.
I do vlog.
Fake
For those that
news.
don't know, actually, if you've seen me walking around, you typically see me with a camera in my hand. I always do convention vlogs when I go out to these, so keep an eye out. You might appear in them, and don't come after me if you didn't want to be in it, because obviously everyone wants to. Why?
Security.
No, but I'm wanting to get into vlogging. Since I'm going to cons more often, you recommend a good like starting setup?
Don't worry about getting the most expensive camera, the most expensive microphone. Yeah, no, it honestly, I feel like it's one thing that Saber always likes to preach. He likes to say it's the idea, not the equipment, that's gonna make a good product. And for these cameras, like I don't like have like numbers in my head as far as like, oh, you got to get the HPD 5000, but honestly, like these cameras I'm spending, these are I think like $500 cameras, but you know they're HD quality. The sound's been the biggest thing that like gets me on these, because sometimes you get a camera that likes to cut out audio behind the camera, and I think they see it as like a great feature, but then when I'm talking, oh, you hear this, I'm like, oh, that didn't sound good at all. So that's audio and whatnot. These cameras I've been able to kind of dial in. I know like Panasonic, Sony. I don't know if you have a good recommendation on other like type of cameras.
So I would suggest that you can really use any camera that you want. I would suggest getting a point and shoot, something you can fit in your pocket that's easy to carry around. Having a stabilization rig that you can also like hold onto it makes the footage so much easier to watch and probably better for your audience. Having a phone in your pocket is always a camera at your disposal. I watched a video actually though by someone you probably know, Casey Neistat, he's like really big vlogger. He basically said, and I kind of felt in agreement with this, was that vlogs should have a story behind it, and nobody in the world really cares about the amount of drone shots you have and the slow-mo footage. They care more about like the story you're trying to tell. So if you're not really putting that much effort into cutting the footage and making it into a story, or at least have a theme to it, you're gonna lose your audience a lot. So I feel like creating something that has, you know, I guess like a formula to it that you can repeat and keep doing in your vlogs is important. So try to figure out what you want to do and what you want to express.
Yeah, also when you're vlogging, it's very helpful when you talk to your audience. Like some people like to do that. That's their vlogging, you know, which is cool. Like if it's something that is just for you, you know, however you film it, you know, it's for you. But if you're looking for like an audience, it's always nice to talk to them and be like, all right, guys. So well, you don't have to say it like that. You could be, all right, guys. So we're getting ready to go to a panel. I've never been to a panel before. However, I hear that they do start with the letter P, and we'll see where they go. But yeah, I think it helps to talk to your audience and be able to help your audience relate to you. I think is really big. You know, so people when they say they see you at a convention, they're like, oh, there's the guy that does the vlogs with the stuff. Hey, and you know, it makes it fun because then you get other people interacting in the vlogs and whatnot. So. Yeah, you know, just have fun with it though. You know, like I said, you could probably get a camera for, like a new camera, I'd say maybe for about $200. It'll be probably HD quality. The sound will probably be just fine. It won't be that complicated, but it's a really good place to start. And, you know, you can learn from there, and then if you want to start upgrading equipment, do it. So, yeah. Have fun with it. Yes?
So after you get all the files from people for Bronies React, how long does it actually take you to edit it?
So he asked, when he gets all the footage for Bronies React, how long does it take to put it all together and actually make the final product, the React?
So one thing that happens with the Reacts is I don't typically get all of the footage at the same time. They're, like, for example, the React that we're working on right now, which is a royal problem, that one has, I'm still waiting on some people's footage for that.
I'll send you my season 2 finale footage really soon.
I
all right?
cannot wait to see it.
Almost there. Almost done.
As far as, like, once I have everyone's footage together, I'd say maybe about 2 weeks. I mean, the reality of this is that the video side of stuff isn't my job. I do work, 40 hours a week as an engineer. And then I come home, and on the weekends, I'm typically at a racetrack working either videography, I do racetrack announcing and all that. So I do all this stuff in my free time. So that's why I'd say safely about 2 weeks going through everybody's footage and chopping it down, editing it all together, trying to compact it and make the timing just right. So yeah, I'd say about 2 weeks. It's getting the footage that takes a while. Gotta crack the whip. Saber spark.
No.
Yes.
As far as editing goes, what software do you use for audio and video?
For me, I use Sony Vegas. For the Bronies Reacts, that's the main editing program I use. It's kind of, I think, just like the first one that I was able to do as much as I needed to do with it. There are other editing programs. I think that there's ones I know that you use that you do some pretty nifty editing with.
Well, I used to work in the industry in Hollywood to do post-production editing, and a lot of them would use Premiere, and I liked Premiere because you could interact with all the other Adobe programs. So you have After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator. So if you want to add those elements into your timeline, it's really easy. So for me, I would suggest Premiere if you want to get serious about editing. Sony Vegas, though, is a great program. So you can find a lot of plugins for free for it. It's great. So,
Yep. Yes.
And if you don't have the money to use high-end programs like that, Windows Movie Maker works just fine. It won't put out HD. The newer versions can, I think at least 720. But the older versions are better because you can get down in more detail. But those only go up to 440.
And it's a good starter. He's talking about Windows Movie Maker, saying that that's a good alternative for, like, if you don't have the money to put down on an editing program at the beginning. Movie Maker's what I started on. That was the first thing when I was editing, putting some videos together. And then I went to, I can't even remember what the name of it was. My mom got like this editing program. She's like, I'm gonna edit all of our home videos together, and she never used it.
was it Microsoft Paint?
Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, she had Windows 95, and
And
she's like,
Solitaire. Yeah,
I got
it
that
was
paint.
good. You know the best part is when it's quiet, I'm assuming people are taking us seriously. MS
Yes.
Paint.
MS
Good.
Paint.
But yeah, no, Movie Maker's a really good
Get this man out of here.
Make some noise for Black Gryph0n! Where's he going? Black Gryph0n! We've lost sight! We've lost sight!
He is the lost Griffin.
Gabe? Are you down there? There you are. How is it down there? dark and scary.
People doing weird things.
What is it?
All right. Folks, Black Gryph0n in the house. So we've been answering questions. How was autographing?
It was happening.
Good.
It happened, you know, it was happening in that joint, in that place
There was a joint?
It's cool to add Z's into words that
Yeah.
don't have them.
Yeah.
It makes you kazool.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, there was autographs were great, and I might have to go back in like 15, 20 minutes, but they'll let me know. So,
Or you can just turn your eyes off and not see Scott staring you down from the main stage back there. Oh, man.
So, also in regards to the question about the video editor, if you want a free one, I believe I heard about this at one point. It's called HitFilm 3, and it's free editing software. It's actually pretty robust. You can do color correction, transitions, all the cool stuff you can do with every other one, but it's a little bit more pro, and it's free. So you can go online and find HitFilm 3, I believe is a free download, and then if you're into color correction and stuff like that, they have one called DaVinci Resolve 12, which is also free. So you can find that online.
Soul Rack shirt. Even though I know your name, but I like all
it's
Soul Rack
Christian.
shirt. Yeah.
My question, since Gabe just got there, he's gonna really tell me, guys. How exactly did you guys get kicked out of the Walmart in 2019?
How did we?
great.
The question is, how did we get kicked out of a Walmart at BronyCon
The real question is,
2013?
It all started with a van.
Saberspark get kicked
Get
out
us
of Walmart?
kicked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you see, I don't know though. I
It
mean,
all started with a van.
it all
I think we
started
can
with
say
a
that.
van
Oh.
and a driver.
A white van with tinted windows that I borrowed from my father. I used it for BronyCon to pick up all my friends, because, you know, it could fit about 9 people in there with a bench seating, and yeah.
Technically, it started before that though. It started with a guy who booked his flight to the wrong airport.
I didn't book my flight. I just didn't realize what airport it was going to.
So, the convention's in Baltimore, and somebody flew into DC.
Yeah.
And that's not as close as you think. So we
About an hour and a half away.
hour and a half drive. So we all pack into this van, and there's a big group of us. Rob Bob was there. I think wasn't Monty there? Monty was there. There was a
Steven was there, Jack Spade was there. Carl
he
Galaxy
knows
Art.
that. And so it was really romantic. It was my first time actually seeing Gabe in
It was
person.
crazy. It was so weird because I knew you. I felt like I knew you like super well, but we'd only ever talked over.
And then we
Skype
met, and we're
stuff.
like, I don't know you at all.
We're
Yeah. And we got kicked out of the airport first. So Walmart, we went in, and I don't even know why we went in.
We were there because Monty needed to buy a hard drive because she had all these files she needed to be able to transfer. So we're going to the electronics section, and of
Right.
course, on the way there, we need to touch everything. in the stores.
Saber found the automatic wheelchairs, motorized wheelchairs they have there, and decided, he's like, well, you know what? It doesn't specify what disability you need to be able to use this. To which he thought a classification for it would be ADHD.
Oh, I thought Brony was his classification for that.
Yeah.
It was a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctors felt real.
ADHD Brony.
Well, they probably would have let him keep it then. So yeah, at one point we're driving down the aisle. I think you were sitting in the cart. He's driving while Saber's waving this American flag back and forth.
I like when he goes down the, what was it?
The chip aisle?
aisle, and he just sticks out his arm and just funnels the chips right into.
We were gonna give them some really good business that night, but they didn't give us a chance.
No, they weren't happy.
Yeah. No, it was and then we went to Taco Bell. And it was dark, and I think someone's chalupa went flying for some reason.
Yeah, I think, well, of course, like I was in the front, like talking to the people about the order up front. I was like, can I get a chalupa and like 2 tacos? And like the woman was just like, all right, sir, you don't have to shout. Like, just give me the order and we'll get through this tough time.
Oh,
I don't
good
get
times.
paid enough for this.
No, it was really good times. Again, it was our first time seeing each other, and it was just magic.
Was that the same day that we fell over?
Was that the same day that we attacked each other and fell over because Rainbow Dash was our favorite?
That was the last day. Yeah, that was for the Bronies React panel. Luckily, no one's asked any of those
Yeah,
questions.
that's good.
So
Let's keep it
that's
that
good.
way.
Yep. So, good question. Any more? Yeah.
Because
I have that same shirt, by the way. It's a good one. It's Hey Noon. That's funny.
So, my question is, and it could be for each of you specifically or a time all three of you were together, but out of all the cons you have been to, what was your craziest experience?
So I got kicked out of a Walmart once.
Walmart Con 2013.
No, I don't know if there's ever going to be, and I guess I should also preface this with hopefully there's never going to be as weird of an experience as, for me, Unicon. Las Pegasus in Las Vegas back in the day. It was, just because it was so weird, like, I got there late because everyone was talking me into, oh, you gotta drive out, which for me was a 4.5-hour drive. And I'm like, okay, I'll come out. Why the heck? What's the worst that could happen? And yeah, it was just, it was weird, but also, this is what I think people are surprised to hear, is that I also found it kind of uplifting though, because literally everything went crumbling down. There was like no order to it, but at the same time, I was behind the scenes. What impressed me was that a lot of convention heads from other conventions came together to like literally duct tape and glue this thing to try to get it to its ending. And while we were trying to raise money for all the staff, it was a mess. But the fandom managed to bind together and not only raise the money overnight, but I don't know, it was just really cool to see. Like, there were still people that were attending that were like, you know, I know stuff was going crazy in the background, but it was still an experience. And
Did they have a ball pit though?
No.
That was their problem.
That was their problem. There was, you know, you've actually destroyed a ball pit once.
Which balls are we talking about?
It was a little ball pit.
You got more than 5 minutes in the ball pit?
I don't actually remember that. I've destroyed a lot of ball pits.
It was at BabsCon.
Oh yeah. Oh, now I remember. It was inflatable.
Yeah, and it didn't last
And it
very long.
didn't stay inflated for very long.
It did not. But yeah, that's for me. I don't know what your guys' craziest experiences were, or if that.
I have a good one, I guess. I don't know if you guys recall or have heard of this, but in BronyCon 2012, which was the one that was held, first it was in New York, and then it was the one that was held in New Jersey. And that one had a famous fire that happened right during the end of, I think it was Lauren Faust's panel. So it was the first time she had come out. What? The writers panel, but she was on that, I believe. Right.
Get your story right,
Yes. So I'm at that panel because this was also the time that we were going to premiere Anthology 2, which I don't know if you've seen that series or anything like that, but it's a video editor series where we all get together and we produce a long video that's basically a lot of skits. And we were about to go up, and I'm sitting right by the AV Center, and I look up and I go to my friend Jay at the time, I go, Jay, does that look like it's melting? And he's like, what do you mean, man? We're about to go up in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, but that looks like it's melting up there, and now it's smoking. And like, then it just starts dripping hot plastic right by me, like 2 feet away. And I'm like, that's on fire. And then like the AV crew's like, oh, we gotta fix this. And I think they found out that it was like a glow stick from the night before, because Tombstone was like, do you hear me? You need to go crazy tonight. And someone threw a glow stick up there, got stuck in the rafters, and like was against the hot lights. So yeah, a fire started, and the most hilarious thing, besides the fact that our panel got delayed by an hour because the entire building had to be evacuated, was Lauren goes, is that a fire up there? And then everyone's like, oh, I guess it is. And then this woman gets on stage and she goes, it's okay, every pony, just go in a very civil, organized manner out of the building. I was like, woman, there are people's lives at stake right now, and you are saying every pony. Like, just say everyone. Like, you don't have to put up... Yeah, like, you don't have to put on the charade anymore. We know you're referring to them. Like, someone's confused, like, every pony? Well, I'm not a pony. I don't need to go. So,
well,
yeah,
they're more flammable than the average person.
The mains are very flammable. So yeah, we all like exit the building. We're all like,
cosplayers out first.
We're all freaking out at video editors because we're like, this is our panel. Like, we had worked a year on this video to produce. We were like, is the building gonna burn down? Is John Delancey behind this? Like, what happened? Is he Discord? Did he cause this fire? So like, we go back to our room because they're like, we gotta clear the convention space. We hash together a video really quick of We Didn't Start the Fire, and we start our panel off with playing that with footage of someone who also posted it online of like the fire happening, and we just like zoom in slowly on the fire as like, we didn't start the fire. And that was like probably my craziest con experience, and that was 2012, so
That
a lot of
trumps
competition.
mine. I did have an interesting one at GalaCon the first time that we went. GalaCon actually has a gala, and it's a formal event. You actually have to dress in a suit or they won't let you in. I didn't have a suit, so I'm scheduled to go on, and the security won't let me in. I'm like, I'm performing. These people must dance to me. And he's like, sorry man, I can't let you in. So I had to go buy pants. That was interesting. And then some, well, I was wearing pants. I had to buy nicer pants. Everyone's like,
So that's why they weren't letting you in. All right.
we can't let you in like that, but the ponies are naked. Anyway,
They wouldn't let you in.
It's
there with
just
that
my
romper.
unicorn horn.
it was delayed a little. I will light the way.
You know, and the funny thing is there's been so many experiences at these conventions, because you talking about having to buy pants reminds me about how there was a time at BronyCon where Saber had to buy a dress to get into the gala. It wasn't pants, it was a dress.
That was amazing.
Yeah, he did one of those tweets where he's like, if this gets like 50 retweets, it was like way low for what he was doing. He was like, if this gets 50 retweets, nah. And it took, no, but it took like 6 minutes for it to happen. He went, oh, I've made a mistake. He's like, I'm gonna make my parents proud tonight. So yeah, more questions. Yes.
Has there been anything interesting happen to you guys at this con? Getting lost or anything?
I love it when people ask these questions. We decided after reading the reviews, I don't know if you have them, we decided on Thursday night that, hey, the three of us should go to Denny's.
At 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. And it's the nearby one that has 2 stars, which you read some of the reviews on.
The sassy reviews of the lady going like, this is the crackheads Denny's, all right? So like, we went to Wendy's instead. And they were like,
I gave this 8 tries and it failed every time.
We're like, you're
not gonna get my money again.
8 tries. That's very generous.
dedication.
Yeah.
Well, you failed on
the
the
waitress
7th.
smelled of cigarettes and so did my eggs.
Which were under the heat light until my bill came.
They were congealed.
No, it was funny. Just getting there was an experience. You know, there was a shopping
You'll see
cart
it in
involved in
vlogs.
one. It'll be in the vlog.
was a shopping cart.
But yeah, and then so we walk in and all the doors are open in this Denny's. So we're like, good start. Their air conditioner must be broken. We walk in and they're like, hey guys, our air conditioner's broken. Now, this lady's standing there. You know, they have all the new merchandise at Denny's, too. Like,
Yeah.
for the newest movies that just came out, like Kung Fu Panda and Home. So
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
if
still
you
there.
guys want a kid's meal, we could hook you up with some new merch. I'm like, that movie came out 3 years ago.
They introduced us to their sausage mascot, which they named Richard. And if you think about that one for a little
Looked
bit,
a lot more like Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, it
Just
did.
saying.
it really did.
He had a top hat
And their
everything.
parachuting pancake, which was a pancake attached to a grocery bag.
What was the pancake's name? Do you remember?
I don't know. Tom Haverford.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, it was just, it was an experience. And again, it was mostly all vlogged. And you know, the sad part is that by the time that we were like mostly done with dinner, we kind of sat back and realized that the way that we were eating and conversing and acting, we're like, you know what? We're the crackheads they were talking about. Oh man.
Grand Slam!
I went to get a selfie with us, and I happened to be pointing my camera right at this group of girls at the other table, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not taking a picture of you."
And I can also explain why I'm not wearing pants.
It's very
They
convincing.
didn't
when
have
you
a
jump-
dress code
I'm not
there.
taking a picture of you, I
This-
swear,
I'm
but
not
you are in
taking
the
a
shot.
Can you scoot over a little bit? I'm not taking a picture of
So
you.
you can get out of the shot.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I mean, I've really enjoyed this convention. This is my first time coming to Crystal Mountain Ponycon.
Same.
5 years. That's real impressive. So good work. How many have been here for all 5?
Oh my Lord. have
The
mercy.
troopers.
At least two.
Was the first one
Three.
like invite only?
4
and you
years
guys
ago?
are like the heads of the Utah Brony conventions out here. You're like, we got this. We're an elite group. We are. Well, good work, guys. We have some newbies here too. We were asking earlier. Some people.
I'm a newbie. We're all newbies.
Yeah, is it your first time too, right? To this
Yeah.
convention? Yeah.
world unite.
Cool. No, it's been a lot of fun. I didn't know Salt Lake City very well. All I know is that when I hear Salt Lake City, I think like, oh, it snows there from time to time. So I'm like, man, I cannot wait to leave this 107-degree weather in Southern California. I'm gonna be chilling out, and then I check the weather, 104. 3 degrees, guys!
It's good.
I debated bringing a coat.
I thought I was gonna bring skis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a parka outside. I mean, it's
I brought my
cold.
snowshoes.
But you didn't bring your pants.
No, I never wear pants.
I know you don't. Other questions? Yes.
It's a hot dog sandwich.
Oh, God. Were you here for that debate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sub.
This has come up before, and it just doesn't end well
It's like
anytime. By a raise of hands, who here thinks that a hot dog is a sandwich? Who here thinks a hot dog is not a sandwich?
For those raising
Scott,
their hands,
you didn't raise your hand. I need
what
to know
is
what
a hot
you
dog?
think. You're just neutral. You just don't. Oh, yeah.
Autographs never ended for you, Gabe.
You can never leave. You're going to be on the plane and someone's like,
to me.
oh, someone drew on that one.
I think it's a sausage holster, so that's it.
I just imagine someone with a belt and like a hot dog bun.
Hey, Scott gave you that belt. You better use it to holster your hot dogs.
I got that. That's a nice belt, Scott. Thank you for that. Thank you. An engineer's belt. I'm still figuring out how to take it off. Yeah.
Keep it on.
Yeah.
Maybe Gabe
more
needs
questions? Yes.
First off, good job falling off your shirt during cruise line
I
yesterday.
didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, I mean, that was totally unplanned, right? Yeah, it was.
Maybe for you.
It was unplanned that how limp your body was going to be, that you just kind of like slunk back into the chair and fell down.
Oh, charity auction. You guys all gonna be at the charity auction, right?
Please do.
You just put some stuff in the charity
I
auction.
did. So Jen Blake, who is a former comic artist for the MLP Comics, the IDW comic series, she donated some prints and a Twilight Secret Ship Fic card to the charity auction, all signed by her, and those are going to be in the charity auction. And she's just been generous because lately she's just wanted to donate as much as possible to be as charitable as possible. So if you can make it out and bid on those items, really love you guys to do that. All right.
Definitely. Definitely. What was your question again?
Hot dog, a sandwich.
No.
One fandom, would it be Zootopia or Bronies?
Well, this was obviously aimed at you.
I think so.
You know what actually is, so I had like a really sad moment yesterday because we had the Who's Line panel, and right after it in a different room there was a Zootopia panel. Is the person who ran that here out of curiosity? Thank you. No? I hurt their feelings, I'm sure. Yeah, well anyways, I was like, I had full intentions on making it to that, and then I think we collapsed in the room or something.
They only ran that panel for you. You because no one else was there.
I was
they
so
were like,
sad.
"Is Jeff in the audience?" Crickets, just crickets.
Who's Jeff?
At least they had an audience full of crickets.
Crickets.
They had an audience full of crickets.
Was anyone at this Zootopia panel? You guys went, right? You guys?
There's one, there's
Good,
two.
Good,
Okay,
good.
we
Was
don't
it
feel
good?
so
Was
bad.
it good? Was it fun? It was fun? I missed a good Zootopia panel. Dang it. No, I totally would have joined in. Like I said, it's just with the Who's Line, there's so much to clean up afterwards. No thanks to us. And then all the rounding up of cameras and having to, I do a lot of camera management at these conventions, and then by the time it was like, oh, I can make it, I'm like, I missed it. So totally intended on going to that, but glad to hear it was a good panel. Do I have to answer your question? Can I say both? Why do I only... people only say you can only choose one, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm in
It's like
more than
going
one
to
fandom.
a parent and being like, who's your favorite child?
Only one.
It's like going to a buffet, and they're like, you can have one thing. It's like, why do you call it a buffet?
It's like being married to one person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There are ponies in Zootopia, right?
Yeah. I think there's literally like one horse that shows up in the movie, and it's like in a big zoomed out shot. Well, obviously, like fandom-wise, the MLP fandom I've been with, you guys are my family. But yeah. So like, you guys are like my brothers and sisters, and Zootopia is like my lover. So, yeah. You know what's sad is that I got in this hot, wow.
Finish the sentence.
Debate
Right.
with my girlfriend. So you see, like they sell the. Have you guys seen the nice decorative pillows that they sell in the vendor hall? They're decorative, and there's one of Judy Hopps, and I'm like, Sarah, you're totally gonna let me get this, right? Because I think it'd look really nice in our living room couch whenever we have anyone like visit. You know, like when her parents come over, it's like, look, we got a new like item, isn't that neat? And yeah, she said no.
It would be your practice child. You could just like carry around the pillow everywhere.
Feed it.
Yeah.
Carrots. So yeah, she said no.
That surprises me.
Wow.
She said I can't buy it. Whatever that means. She'll
He's implying that somebody should buy it for him because it'd be.
But
rude
I don't
to
know
turn
what's
down
gonna
a gift.
happen. She has like I don't know what'll happen after that. It won't be good. But I'll vlog it. Anybody? Any other questions? I got to you. I'll come back to you. You in the back.
Right here?
Yeah.
Alright, so, my question is, like, how long does it take to make a reaction video?
3 minutes. No, it depends on the React. Obviously, you're probably asking about the full Bronies React video. I'd say a little bit over like a month, and that's because I like to, for everybody that's in them, like I know that we all have lives outside of Bronies React for some reason, and so I try to give people about like 2 or 3 weeks to get footage in, and that's a big chunk of why it takes that long. Like earlier mentioned, it takes about 2 weeks for me to edit everything together once I have all the footage, which I'm going through. You know, like this next one, I think we might have maybe up to like 12 people, which is a lot of people. And then if you add that to, sometimes I get like 2.5 hours, 4 hours of footage from people. You were so proud of how much footage you sent me. You're like, it's only 2 hours this time.
I was proud of that.
But I was kind of sad because you didn't. There were less songs this time from you.
I was not singing as much.
You sang, but just not as much. So
sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, about a month. Sometimes a little. It depends also what's going on in like real life. You know, it's like sometimes I'm just slammed busy with things that I'm trying to get done in real life. Who needs that? So, yes. Yes.
Right, so which React have you guys had the most fun with so far?
That's really tough.
I haven't been in all. Yeah, I have been. Well, I make them. I remember when Saber saw me in the first Bronies React. This was before I knew who he was. And he's like, why did this guy get to be in the Bronies React? And then he's like, oh, he made it. What's been your most fun one?
I don't know. I liked where I got to dress up. Every time I get to dress up, that's fun. The Master Chief one.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. That one looked painful,
Consequently,
though.
I also took my clothes off in that one.
No pants.
No pants.
That's the running
Thank you
theme
for
here.
cutting it where you cut it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had to crop.
Yeah,
things.
I know. A lot.
Not a lot. There wasn't that much.
There's a lot.
There wasn't that much.
There's a lot to crop.
No, there wasn't. Huge. I always go back to this one just because it was my most like genuine breakage moment I've ever had. It was Generation 3.5 MLP. I went into it thinking, you know what? Not oh baby. No, I honestly went into it thinking, you know what, everyone's just totally exaggerating. They're doing it probably as like, oh, we're bronies and the old generation was too bad. And I'm like, I'm genuinely gonna give this a chance. And I want to see if it's actually as bad, and if it's not, I'm gonna call it out. And then baby Scootaloo happened. I broke in that I've never felt so mentally exhausted after just about anything as I did after filming that Bronies React. And that's why, like, for me, it's fun to look back at because I'm just like, man, that was heck. That was heck. It was, yeah. No, I broke, like, that was a legitimate break in there. Like, when I was, like, laughing, I didn't know. My girlfriend thought I was, like, dying, which I think I was. But, yeah, that's for me, so, yeah. More questions? Yes, you in the back.
What was the story behind getting that Emma Larson impersonator into the season 4?
I like that you're, so the M.A. Larson impersonator, we'll stick with that. That was actually M.A. Larson. That was him, and how he got in, I love that, I wonder how many other people are like.
Yeah, I just assumed everybody knew it was him.
Yeah, no, that's pretty funny. Hey guys, this is M.
Yeah, I'm M. It's my secret identity.
So, Mitch, one day, sent me a message on Twitter saying, hey, I gotta talk to you. And it was right after I had released a Bronies React. And I'm like, oh, great, what did I do to piss off the staff this time? And he's like, so don't tell anyone, which I promised I'd never tell anyone. He's like, but I kind of want to be in a Bronies React. And I said, no.
But then he begged.
He begged, and he gave me lots of money. And I finally said, maybe. And yeah, no, yeah, he came to me. That's how that all went about. We've had a lot of interactions with Mitch. We like to treat him like the crazy uncle, and he's just such a fun guy. He really is. You're in trouble. Uh-oh. What's this? No, okay, all right.
The NSA is listening.
Ignore the man behind the window. But yeah, so that's how that happened. I guess long story short was that he came to us and said, I want to be in Bronies React. And we tried to get rid of him, but he wouldn't leave, so on he was. And then there was a question here. You still got your question?
Yes. Yesterday you uploaded a video, you reacted to a funny movie trailer.
Yes.
But I was wondering what your thoughts were on the sudden appearance of sea ponies.
So is there anyone who hasn't seen the trailer yet? So that's how I was prior to Thursday night. And I went, if I don't watch it right now, I'm gonna have people asking me questions. Actually, somebody commented on the video and they're like, I thought you hated spoilers, but yet you're being really contradictory since you reacted to this. And I'm like, well, first off, all I have to do is see one movie in the movie theater, and then I'm gonna see this trailer anyways. I'm not gonna be like, no. That's my way of avoiding stuff.
They also clicked on the video knowing that it was going to be the trailer. Like, if they wanted to avoid spoilers too.
No, but yeah, so I was cracking up at that like whole point. I'm like, well, no, here's why. Like I said, I was coming to this convention. I'm like, I probably should see the trailer. Movie trailers I treat a little bit different than show trailers because sometimes I don't like the show trailers because sometimes I feel like they give too much away. So remember the question about fandoms? Hey, this was our thing, Gabe.
Oh my God.
You should have seen the looks I got around Disneyland when I filmed this, by the way.
I had to sing like Shakira.
Look at that empty wallet. It hasn't improved at all.
Got 10 tickets to see the whole movie through, and then I ran straight into the Disney store.
That's how he really walks.
Yeah.
I need your help, oh my cash
never had Cash bleed.
You've never been a fan like I have of a certain movie. So yeah, most of this was actually filmed in Disneyland, and the cast members were literally looking at me like, this isn't normal. And obviously it isn't.
I need more Nick, Judy, and Fanny, and a racing flash. Please take all my cash.
Thank you, by the way, for making this sound a lot better than I was going to if I sang it.
Seems like you carried all I need it now.
Me sing it? Oh, 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 no.
Buy everything. Oh, 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 no. Buy everything.
No, 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 no.
Buy everything.
So the director of the movie
Suits and tails and beers to boot. Maybe too small for me, but I don't care. Bought the soundtrack twice. Stereo is so nice. Don't have enough figurines and it's not fair. Credit cards max. Look at this sales tax.
This is actually a true story, by the way. Like it's,
but it became true after.
It came true, yeah. At this point of making this, I wasn't actually buying everything. And it was about 2 weeks later where I'm like, no, I need everything. And I somehow, like, it was like a prophecy song. I don't know. I wrote it about myself without knowing it was about myself.
This is a preemptive.
And that recording thing, that shaped like a carrot, oh, I need it now.
Give me the plushies and all the toys. Don't matter if it's for girls or boys.
Here's my life motto.
I have no shame.
There's my life motto.
Choice, but shame is better. Shame.
Yeah.
Buy everything. Oh, 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 no. Buy everything. Oh, no, 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 no. Buy everything.
So when I had this thing when I was a kid, I used to, well, I still do, every Saturday, except for this one, I am at a racetrack, stock car racing, local short track racing, that my dad got me into when I was a little kid, and now it's something that is a little Philly, thank you, and it's something that I've now have a business working in. Like I said, I do, I'm an announcer at some racetracks and whatnot. What I started doing though when I was like 12 or 13 years old is I'm like, you know what, I want to take songs and rewrite them to fill, or to fit what's going to be racing that night. And the only person I'd share that with is my friend that I'd always go to the races with. So I'd call him up on Friday night before we'd go and be like, okay, listen to this one now. And I'd hold up the phone and everything. So I always, for some reason, I really liked rewriting songs, doing song parodies. And this one, I was just like, I have to do this. I actually came up with a song as I was driving home one night from Disneyland. I think it was after I had just bought the soundtrack for Zootopia. And I was like, I gotta do this. And then as I tried a couple takes, and I'm like, Gabe, I don't quite have the voice. I just don't quite have the voice. And
Nathaniel and I were just starting work on Getting Stronger, and your email came in and said, this is more important.
But I was right.
You were right.
Yeah, it was.
And the director saw it, and a bunch of people who worked on the movie saw it.
Yeah, I had actually, there was like Jared Bush, he's one of the main writers for Zootopia. He messaged me, I'm trying to remember when, it was later, but he was like, so you're gonna write a song about this now? And I think it was right after they won the Oscar. And they're like, so I'm expecting a song in the next week. And I'm like, stop. And yeah,
You're not Judy.
You're not Judy. You can't tell me what to do. Yeah, both of the directors saw it. I actually had the honor of meeting Rich Moore, he was one of the directors of Zootopia. They had like the special meeting at Randy's Donuts in LA, and it's where the big donut in one of the scenes in Zootopia where you see the donut get kicked off the building, is based off of that donut shop. So they had this big like anniversary get together, and Rich Moore was there, and there were a couple other people, and it was really cool just to be able to go up to him and say, "Thanks for making me broke." And he started laughing like I was kidding. Yeah.
I actually saw that vlog, and you met Clawhouse.
I met the voice of Clawhauser.
Yes, sir,
Yep. And then, it's been really cool, because what I love is that in this day and age of social media, we're able to interact with people that, make movies and shows that we love. Obviously, MLP is a huge example of that, and to me, it means a lot to be able to have that interaction.
I agree. I think the media is evolving. Everything's shifting to a more personalized version, with YouTube and everything. But it's really cool. The shows that survive are the ones that can kind of mix with that. And I'm getting a phone call, which is probably from, Do you need me? Say it again.
They're gonna hear.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Hi. You need me over there?
Perhaps.
It doesn't sound definite, so go away.
Okay, yes.
Fly away.
Yes, Gabriel. Wait, maybe I'll make your mom come on and get mad at you. Say your question.
There's a lot of traffic. He'll be there in about 5 minutes.
Beep, 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 beep. Hey, get out of the way.
Okay, I'll be there. Tell them that I'm sorry and I love them and all that fun stuff. Okay, bye.
Just sign for him.
I love you.
It's your sister. She looks like you.
Yes, she looks just like
they
you.
won't know the difference. Now, that's kind of that ending point there is that, are you leaving?
No.
Good. If you walk slow enough, it's just 5 minutes. But if
It's over at 5?
Yeah, but if you have to.
Well, are there any more questions? Any questions for me, maybe then?
Well, in that case, we'll ignore those ones. Any other questions? All right. What's your question? No. Next question. Yeah.
I remember what it was now.
Good.
So, it was back on the comment she made about the boobs line. And I've actually been toying with this idea, and it's between you and Michelle.
Yes.
How often do you guys, joke around and in fair game, I guess? How often do you and her insult each other in a good manner?
Do you guys ever?
Time.
Yeah. Do you ever not?
I don't
insult
think
each other?
we've ever complimented each other, actually.
But it's not in good.
It's
not
perpetual insults. In fact, if I give her even a slight backhanded compliment, she almost cries with happiness. Like, wow, you didn't completely suck tonight. She's like, oh, thanks, Gabe. You do care. I'm like, no, I don't. No, pretty much all the time. Michelle is the queen of insults. And so am I, but the king instead.
What's your question?
Actually, have you ever had an arm wrestling or a push-up competition with Jack's Blade?
No, not with Jack's Blade, but I've beaten everyone else I've done it with. Because I haven't done it with Jack's Blade. Or anybody that would beat me.
That's a lie. I beat you at Fiesta. Yep.
I don't remember.
Remember?
I must have flushed it from it. You want to go again?
I arm wrestled Jack's Blade, but lost.
You want to go again?
But it was close.
Right now?
Right now? Jack's Blade is strong. He's a strong man.
Yeah, he looks.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
All right, they're gonna do it again. I saw
right.
a question in the back. What's your question? Yeah, you, Buzz Lightyear. I know you're not Buzz Lightyear, but the light's in my eyes. Now remember, just a heads up, don't spoil it because a lot of people haven't seen it. Okay.
Or do you think with how everyone's going to react on it, and react as I've seen, I'm sure you've seen, do you think you're going to do a Bronies React on it?
Yes. I've already, that is something that we are definitely doing a react to. I actually announced it a little bit earlier in the panel, but that's going to be happening. Go, just go, just go. Can't you see we don't want you anymore? Don't all that. Well, you should clap. as he leaves. Because we're so happy that he's gone.
I guess I win by default.
Or we could do like.
All right.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. I guess a lot of people haven't seen.
Rarity will take him away. Ha 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 ha.
To the funny farm. All right. Well, we only have like 1 minute left. So what we're gonna do is we're
This
gonna
guy hasn't.
you.
What was your first thought when you were doing the sword balloons with Saber and Lauren?
Ooh, this is a good one.
All right. So how many people know about the sword fight with Lauren Faust? Is there anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about? Oh, good. All right. There's a video on YouTube, and it's titled. What?
I said story time.
Story time, and this will be our ending story for the panel. Ending on a high note. So there is a video up on YouTube that you guys can check out, titled I think it's called "Race and Saber Finally Meet Lauren Faust." It was our first time really having an interaction with her. To preface this, at EQLA. I forget what year it was.
It was 2015.
2015. EQLA. Lauren was out there, and so was Bonnie. And Bonnie was like the creator of My Little Pony. And she is Zachary, right?
Bonnie Zachary.
I'm always afraid I'm going to say her name wrong. And I'm standing up for this because it's such a big deal. But she's someone that like Lauren looks up to. And what happened was we were walking out of a panel, and it was a really cool panel. It was with Lauren and Bonnie, and we saw Lauren going down the escalator as we were walking on a different level, and Saber's like, man, I really want to just be like yell out to her like, Lauren, thank you so much, or whatnot, but he's holding his drink up, he sips, and he's like, no, you know what, I can't make a fool of myself, and he takes it and he chucks it at the ground. To really stamp in that point of, I can't make a fool of myself. Unfortunately, we happened to be right near the elevators, of which one of them had began to open as he chucked his drink to the ground. And in that elevator happened to be one Bonnie Zachary. Her first brony convention. And here's Saber standing there watching his drink fall to the ground and realizing what he has done. It shatters right next to her open-toed shoes. And she goes, what the heck? And Saber, I've never seen him get down on the ground so fast. I'm sorry. And
Spaghetti everywhere.
Spaghetti. And I was laughing so hard. Because, it's that whole thing where he's like, I'm not going to make a fool of myself, and he literally couldn't have done a worse thing. So, fast forward to BabsCon. I forget what year this was.
I think it was
2016?
the following year, yeah.
2016.
They don't forget the date because
We're beating each other up. We're having a lightsaber fight because someone gave us those long balloons. I don't even know what the heck they're supposed to be, and we're smacking each other with them. And Lauren's at this convention, and again, we're like, we've never met her. We've never been able to say, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for everything you've done, not just with My Little Pony, but all the cartoons we used to watch as a kid. And so we're sitting there beating each other up, and again, she's at this convention, and Saber just turns to me as we're hitting each other, and he's like, imagine if Lauren's there, right when the door starts to open. And wouldn't you know it, Lauren Faust, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and we both stop, and I happened to be filming at this moment, because my camera was on a tripod, we had just left a panel. I didn't realize it was recording. And you see Saber's face as he all of a sudden looks over and sees Lauren right after he says this, and his soul just leave his body. I'm sorry, we're sorry. We're sorry. And we're getting out of the elevator. I'm sorry. And so we start, and her handler, usually, sometimes handlers can be kind of sticks. They just, I don't know, they can be a little bit like, don't get near the show stuff. This one was actually kind of cool. She's like, oh, why'd you guys stop sword fighting? Which sounds really weird out of context. But and she's like, oh, why'd you stop? And, was joking with us. And of course, as we're crossing paths with Lauren, we also got a chance to say, oh, by the way, Lauren, thank you so much for everything you've done. The door's shut, she goes down, and we both go on the ground laughing like, what? Saber. I have it on video where he literally goes, what if Lauren's there? Don't open your mouth anymore, Saber Spark.
Divine intervention.
It was hilarious, but it was also just. So be careful what you say whenever you're in an elevator having a sword fight with balloons, all right? So you never know what's gonna happen. Watch $1 million be there. You never know.
It's best to keep your mouth shut.
At all times. Yes.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be a wrap here on this Bronies React panel. Certainly hope you guys all had fun.
And can I mention one more thing?
Mention one more thing.
All right, so if you want to have another experience to maybe have Saber make a fool of himself at EQLA this year in November 17th through the 19th, Lauren is going to be there, and Saber will most likely be there. This man will be here, and it's only a day's drive from here, so if you already live in Utah, you can get down to Anaheim and check out the convention if you're interested. It's going to be great. But we all hope you have a great rest of this convention, and thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.